Nick and Perry on the mic, straight killing. Talking wrestling, news, mad thrilling. From the ring to the headline spilling. Every match, every feud, bone chilling. G-Pop podcast, feel the hype. Every scoop, every match, they type. In the ring, we see stars take flight. Nick and Perry bringing truth to light. To light. SmackDown, Raw, they break it all down. From body slams to the champ's new crown. Tag teams, giants, they cover each town. Every heel, every face, every showdown. G-Pop podcast, feel the hype. Every scoop, every match, they type. In the ring, we see stars take flight. Nick and Perry bringing truth to light. To light. Ladder matches to steel cage thrill. From pay-per-views to the backyard mill. Nick and Perry got the inside skill. WrestleMania world at their will. G-Pop podcast, feel the hype. Every scoop, every match they type. In the ring we see stars take flight. Nick and Perry bringing truth to light. To light.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Cheat Pop Podcast. Over here on YouTube, I'm Nick. Here's always with Perry, and we're here to recap WrestleMania 41. What a weekend it was! But I want to first off, one thing first. I want to shout out everybody from the community that did wish me a happy birthday. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. My birthday was last Saturday, and I'm 33. I'm an old man, but I'm getting through it. But because of that, I did not see night one. I eventually did watch night one later. As soon as I got home, literally the pay-per-view went off the air, so I didn't see anything from night one. I went to bed without seeing any spoilers, and then I saw it the next morning. So, yeah, but we're gonna get through that stuff. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out on this recap episode. Um, but before we go through the card, and we have some things to talk about, and some things that I want to get off my chest about this card, or just this, not just the card, just the weekend in general. Overall, Perry, how'd you feel about night one and night two of WrestleMania? Let's just put it that way.
Night one was horrible, except for the main event.
Yeah.
Night two, great show, except for the main event.
Main event, yeah.
You should have just flipped main events on different nights.
Yeah, it literally, like, when night two started, I was like, okay, this is, because I watched night one the morning of night two.
Right.
Easter morning, I watched it. And I was like, man, this show is kind of like, it kind of felt like a Raw or a SmackDown. Like, it just felt like, it just didn't feel, like, it didn't have a WrestleMania feel to anything. Then it came to the main event, and I was like, oh, these guys kicked ass in the main event. Those three guys, they fucking went crazy. The turn I kind of saw coming, but and what they're doing on, we'll talk about what happened on Raw a little bit later, but it seems like something bigger is happening there.
First thing I thought.
Yeah. And yeah, so I love the main event. And then night two started off great. And then I was even the main event was starting off okay, but then like the whole Travis, we'll get into it. I have a lot of shit to say about that main event on night two. Or just overall as a whole.
Right.
About that feud and just everything else. And we're going to talk about, because that's going to lead us into, when we do talk about that, that's going to lead us into The Rock on Pat McAfee. But anyway, yeah, so the night one of WrestleMania started off Jey Uso versus Gunther. And Jey Uso is your new world champion. Rikishi complained enough that they gave him the belt.
Hey, you know what? I went back and I found all those reports
about him tweeting.
About him, yes, tweeting and complaining about Jey Uso. That was August of 2024, up until November 2024.
Yeah.
And then he wins the Royal Rumble 2 months later.
Yeah.
Come on, like this guy.
Yeah.
So you just got to bully your son's employer, and he gets the belt.
I didn't think the match was that bad. I thought it was decent, but yeah, a lot of people were underwhelmed by seeing Jey Uso.
A lot of people got mad because Gunther tapped, and it was like, dude, he tapped after 3 frog splashes.
Yeah. No, it was, yeah. That
people like, oh, they made him look weak. I was like, it was 3 frog splashes.
Yeah. It was okay match. It was just like, again, it just didn't feel like a WrestleMania match. I don't know what.
I agree, dude. But the guy came out, Uso came out, and the crowd was dead.
Yeah.
There was like, some people going, and it's like nobody cared.
Also, I don't know if that's really the match you start off. Like, that's not like an opener. I don't know.
I know why they did that, because they wanted to like get everybody like hyped up for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I don't know.
It didn't work. It just didn't work crowd wise. It didn't work.
And well, here's the thing with that crowd. Okay, they were in Vegas. That's why I got the Raiders behind me, Las Vegas Raiders. The problem was, it seemed like the Vegas crowd is just, hey, we have money, we're just gonna go to this event. Or B, we won tickets at the casino. Or C, it didn't feel like this was like a wrestling centric crowd. They were just there to have fun and just be there. Oh, it's an event, we could do that. It seems like that's what it just was. Even though tickets were expensive, but again, if you live out there and you got money, like, you're just gonna go.
Yeah.
You're not gonna watch this shit on TV every week. So that's what it felt like to me. Like this crowd was like dead. It's like when AEW did their first show in Vegas. It's like you could tell people in the front row they were not wrestling people at all.
Yeah.
But they were just there.
They got the tickets from their job or something.
Yeah.
They were like a corporate. Yeah.
Or they just said, "Oh yeah, there's wrestling tonight. We'll just go. I'll just pay the $5,000 and we'll sit front row."
It's like the people you see in the legend seats at Yankee Stadium, like those like expensive ass seats. Like they're all like in business suits and like you can tell they don't watch baseball.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
they watch one game a year, but it's like they're in the most expensive seat.
Yeah, they're just going to go.
Yeah.
We got we got Frank in the chat and we got the MILF Man in the chat. We are live right now.
Guys?
We have a live chat going.
Guys? What is going on, guys? But yeah, so that was that match. Then you had New Day versus the War Raiders, which this was a nothing match.
Yeah, I don't even know why this was on WrestleMania.
This was like 8 minutes, maybe. It felt like something on Raw,
right?
And the New Day won the tag titles. That's pretty much it. Again,
welcome to 10 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It just didn't feel like it should have been on WrestleMania.
Yeah, this was like, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
They do like 1,000 freaking pre-shows. They do like 3 or 4 hours of pre-shows. You really couldn't just like put this on one of the pre-shows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, Jade Cargill and Naomi. Jade Cargill beat Naomi. Again, not a bad match. Happy Jade Cargill won, but this felt like something. Yeah, this felt like it still felt like something on Raw. Like,
I know.
The whole night one just felt like, okay, that was cool. Like, I'm not offended by this.
Let me tell you something. Night one sucked too because the wrestlers were working very slow in the ring. I don't know if you caught that. Like to do moves, they were taking their time jumping on the rope, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, I understand you don't want to get hurt, but they were like extra cautious on night one, like with the ring work. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I did see that there was no urgency to the in-ring work at all. It's like you could pick up the pace a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, so again, good match. I liked it, and I'm glad Jade won. It was just, again, it just felt like something I could see on Raw or SmackDown. That's just how I felt about it. Next was Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Jacob Fatu beats LA Knight. Happy for Jacob Fatu. He deserves it. I predicted this would be him, like the first of his many championship reigns in WWE. He's the shit. I love him. and it was a good match. But it didn't really feel like a WrestleMania match.
It felt like a Sunday Night
yeah,
Heat match or a main event match.
I'm happy Fatu won, and I'm happy he got his moment, and that's cool. But you know, again, it just kind of felt like, you know, a match you would see on Raw or SmackDown. Then the next one was supposed to be El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio.
You got a different
Rey
Ray.
Mysterio. Rey Mysterio got hurt on SmackDown.
Tore his groin.
Was it his groin? Is that what happened?
Yeah, whoever pulled him out of the ring pulled him to the point where he tore his groin. So
Jesus Christ.
And that was the night before WrestleMania night 1. So this guy can't catch a break. He's had a million surgeries, this guy.
Yeah. Well, thankfully it wasn't a knee or nothing. Thankfully.
Yeah,
it wasn't a knee or anything. And he was standing the next day when they announced the acquisition of AAA. He was standing. So, I mean, I guess that's good, you know, but
yeah, but he can't like work.
No.
The guy flies around the ring. His whole fucking groin's gonna fall off if he does that.
But yeah, so he was replaced by Rey Fenix. And then again, this match, not bad. I think Rey Fenix probably should have won this match, in my opinion.
You know why I don't think he won? I think because the story is not Rey Mysterio has to be like the end game for that story.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna just end that story when, you know. But hey, Rey Fenix, dude, he just got in the company less than a month ago. He already's in a WrestleMania match. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. No.
I'm proud of that guy. I'm proud he was able to do it. He got good luck with that one. I mean, geez, but
I'm happy for both those guys.
Yes.
Rey Fenix and Penta. I'm happy for both of them.
Yep.
But yeah, again, okay match. But again, it was like a 7-minute match, and I'm happy Rey Fenix got his WrestleMania match and cool. But again, it just felt like a TV match.
Yep. Felt like a SmackDown match.
Then you had Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte.
Oh my God.
And this was you could just tell they did not. I don't know if it was because they didn't like working with one another. But
I don't think they ever worked together.
Yeah, this was like, you want to talk about the opposite of chemistry? This was the opposite.
Remember Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte? That was a train wreck. Because
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss was like way shorter than Charlotte, and Charlotte couldn't get any moves on her.
Yeah, this was negative chemistry. I am glad Tiffany Stratton won. I'm glad Charlotte didn't win. Because I don't think Tiffany Stratton should be dropping it to Charlotte.
Right.
So I'm happy she won. But this match again was just very sloppy and it was a longer match.
They took their sweet ass time too, like I said.
Yeah.
It's 2 feet time. Her teeth got chipped in this match.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah. But
I don't know, man.
I'm
They
glad-
should have called this the Plastic Wars. Shit.
But yeah. So then you had the main event, which was Seth Rollins versus CM Punk and versus Roman Reigns for a triple threat match in the main event. This was the match of the night easily by far, and these guys kicked ass. At one point in the match, I did write notes for for this match specifically. During the match, Punk was getting in his offense. He hit the DDT on Rollins and Reigns together. He performed an elbow drop on Rollins. Reigns then hit the Superman punch.
Dreadpool, what's up?
For a near fall. What's up, Dreadpool? Punk and Reigns countered the spear and they go to sleep. And Punk applied the Anaconda Vice on Reigns. Rollins broke it up with a frog splash for a near fall. Rollins then got Reigns to team up with him to take out Punk. They botched teased the Shield power bomb on Punk before Reigns attacked Rollins and performed a solo power bomb on Punk through the announce table. Then it says that in the closing moments, Heyman obtained a steel chair and handed it to Punk. However, Heyman betrays Punk with a low blow and hands the chair to Reigns, who repeatedly struck Punk with the chair. As Reigns was about to strike Rollins with the chair, Heyman turns on Reigns with a low blow and handed the chair to Rollins. Rollins then strikes Reigns with the chair, performs the stomp on Reigns onto the chair, gets the pin, wins the match, and Heyman is now with Seth Rollins.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
How come when Heyman did the nut shot
When he wiggled his arm?
Yeah, what the fuck was that all about?
On the Reigns one, he hits Reigns and he just starts.
Why did he do
really
that?
Got it. It was so fun. I laughed when I saw it because I saw his face too. He had like the evil face.
Yeah, but you know what he should have done? He should have fucking nutshotted all three of them and walked out of the ring by himself. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, with Roman Reigns, man, he was going in there like what?
Yeah, he was making sure he got in there on that one. Oh my god!
I don't know what that was about, man. And this guy Heyman, he was kissing Ryback the one time. Now he's grabbing these guys. I don't know what's going on. That's not the Paul Heyman I grew up with. I grew up with Paulie Dangerously over there.
Oh man. But yeah, no, it was it was a great match. I loved it. I'm liking where they're going. We'll talk about what happened on Raw in a little bit.
He grinded his nuts, says Frank in the chat.
Yeah. Talk about what happened on Raw in a little bit, but I like where they're going with the Rollins and Heyman stuff, and I like how I kind of saw it coming after Rollins said that, you know, you owe me a favor now or whatever to Heyman.
I think that was the most predictable thing on the internet, that he was going to join Rollins.
Yeah. They shouldn't have done the you owe me a favor thing at all, in my opinion.
Right.
You know? Like, and then just had it happen, you know?
Well, just because he owed him a favor for not stomping on a guy that he turned on anyway, so it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. But we'll see in the coming weeks what's going to happen, but I thought this was the match of the night.
Right.
Great main event. And happy for Punk that he got his main event.
Was it really the main event?
It trust me, with the quality of this match and the other matches, this was the main event for sure.
I'll give him that.
This is the match that everyone's gonna be talking about after night one. But yeah, so that was the underwhelming night one. Then we get to night two. When I watched night two live, me and my brother watched night two live. And yeah, night two. I was very worried about night two when I saw what happened with night one.
Right.
Night two starts off red hot, in my opinion. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley fucking killed it. They had a great match, great opener. This got the crowd hot. And I'm happy that Io Sky retained. I am happy that she retained. And that pinfall, I think it was the moonsault she hit or whatever to win it. Man, that was a thing of beauty. And they fucking kicked ass. How did you feel about this match, Perry?
No, it was good.
Yeah. Did you see the afterwards? They released some behind the scenes footage today on YouTube from afterwards, and Stone Cold came up to Io Sky after that match and shook her hand and said that match was fucking great.
I didn't see that. I gotta watch that.
Yeah. And like literally shook her hand. He said, "You guys fucking killed it. That match was that was great." So when you're getting that kind of praise from Stone Cold, you know.
Well, the fact that he walks up to you and tells you that.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy. But they had a killer match. I would definitely recommend people check that out. Great opener. Then Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest had a good street fight. I liked it. I thought they had a good match.
It was good. I mean, they killed each other. Yeah. It's just like I wish there was more substance to this, but I guess not.
Yeah. It kind of felt like it was thrown together a little bit late, you know. But Drew McIntyre won. It was a good match. They went through a lot of tables.
He did the selfie again.
Yeah, did the selfie, which I thought,
still bored at work.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so good match there. Then you had another really good match, the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title match. Dom, Braun, Finn Balor, and Penta this was another great match.
Yes.
And the unexpected happened. Well, I said if Braun loses, it's gonna be because they have bigger things planned for him, which we saw on Raw. That is the case.
Yes.
But I didn't think. I thought it might have been Penta, but Dominic Mysterio
I
ends
thought
up winning
Penta
the
too.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was great, and the pop Dom got was kind of was kind of crazy.
Yeah. You know what? Vegas was like Canada. It was like Bizarro World.
Yeah.
For what I'm talking about is back in the late '90s when WWF would go to Canada, the Canadians would cheer all the bad guys and boo all the good guys.
Mhm.
This was that type of crowd in Vegas. They were just cheering all the
Yeah.
bad guys and booing all the good guys.
Yeah. I also felt like how you said there was more of like fans that weren't really wrestling fans at like
Right.
night 1. Night 2, I think, had more of the wrestling fans at night 2. Because they were kind of cheering. They were like the smart. They were like cheering the bad guys.
The
booing
crowd
the
was,
good guys.
the crowd was mixed on both nights, and it's not because they're mixed like reactions, but it's
Yeah.
just you had some wrestling fans mixed in with a lot of non-wrestling fans, and I think
Yeah.
that hurt both nights as far as like reception, because on TV it comes across like no one gives a shit,
Yeah,
and it's
because
like this
usually
is
at
WrestleMania, like you should care, like,
Usually at WrestleMania, you have the diehards of the diehards
Right.
coming from all over the.
Speaking
the
of
world.
diehards, did you see the guy in the green shirt?
Mm.
So listen,
He got his own entrance.
he got his own entrance off camera, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? He paid the WWE. It's not really the WWE. He paid WWE 6 figures so that he could walk down that ramp.
He paid for that?
He paid it's being reported $100,000 just to walk down the ramp like a fucking idiot.
What the fuck's that guy do? He must have won like a lawsuit or some shit.
He's got to be a trust fund baby or something. He paid
Yeah.
to walk down a ramp.
That's
Not even televised.
So is he paying for those seats or is he getting those seats?
No,
for
he's
free?
paying for
Like,
those seats.
That's crazy. Why pay? What the fuck?
$100,000, I would put that shit down on a house, another house,
Exactly. Yeah.
or I'd pay off my other house that I got.
What the fuck? There's people out here that can't even afford to fucking pay their student loans, and this guy's fucking paying $100,000.
$100,000 to walk down the ramp like a. This guy looks like he's from a fucking Adam Sandler movie. He looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He walks down the ramp.
No,
He's like,
Yeah, I saw the.
"You paid
the
$100,000 for
video of
that?"
I saw the video of that. I'm like, bro, you could fucking put your own theme music on in your backyard and fucking come out to it.
He could
Fucking
build a
like-
fucking arena in his backyard for $100,000 with the ring and walk down to the fucking ring. I don't care. God
That's
damn.
So I didn't even know that was fucking possible. I didn't know you could pay.
He paid 6
company-
figures to walk down the ramp.
That's
They didn't pay
fucking
him. He
insane.
paid them.
That's insane. That's insane. I mean,
So who else are we gonna get to pay to walk down the ramp?
it's his money, bro. I mean, fuck. I mean,
Yeah, but it's just throwing the money away. Holy
Oh
shit,
yeah,
man!
no, 100%, 100%.
It doesn't even cost that much to meet the wrestlers. It costs like $3,000 to meet the wrestlers. It's got to pay $100,000 to fucking walk down the ramp.
$100,000 is crazy.
Dude, I don't know, man. Listen, I guess God bless the guy, but
Hey, man.
bro, what the fuck? That's money.
Oh yeah, no, I could never, bro. I could never.
No way.
That's there's no way.
If
I
they
had that
said
kind of
you
money
could
at my
meet The
disposal-
Rock, Austin, and Hulk Hogan, and Goldberg all at once, and Sting, all those 5 guys together for $100,000, I'd be like, fuck that. I'm going to put the money into my house.
for real.
No
bro.
way.
Like like you said, he's got to be like a trust fund baby or like
Gotta be.
whatever. Because that's crazy.
But he looks like he's the goat man from like an Adam Sandler film. Like he looks like a fucking idiot, this guy. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe his mom does OnlyFans. Who knows?
We've been talking about that guy for a decade, and here he is fucking.
And you know what? I hate to say this, but I'm really sick of this fucking guy. I was sick of this guy from day one. But you go back in all the archives, this guy's in the front row since 2011. And
Yeah.
it's really annoying with the same goddamn clothes on.
Yeah.
And then, hey, when I started watching AEW instead of WWE, he was at the AEW shows in the front row.
Yeah.
It's like, we can't get rid of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can this guy get like sick so he doesn't show up? God damn.
Yeah, no, he green shirt guy is a it's just
He's a fucking dick. He's just trying to be annoying to be annoying.
I feel like you were one of the first people I knew that like didn't like him, and now like half the internet doesn't half the internet.
Well, yeah, because it's annoying. You're trying to watch TV and this fucking guy's like with the fucking green shirt on. It's annoying. It makes you not want to watch this shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh wow, that guy again. It's not like an ECW where you had Straw Hat Guy. You're like, yeah, Straw Hat Guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That guy looked like he could kick somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Even though he's a fat slob with a straw hat. But you're like, that guy could probably whoop half these guys' ass in the front row.
He's probably drunk enough where he could.
This guy looks like he's from like an Adam Sandler Netflix movie. Like, I don't even know. I don't even think he knows where he's at.
Oh man.
Well, fuck him. Take $100,000 and stick it up your ass.
But yeah, Dom Mysterio won. Happy for him that he won. And
Milkman is pissed off in the chat. Look at this.
What's up, Milkman?
That sign guy, he's been at events recently. He's old as shit though.
Yeah, he's older. Yeah. Yeah, he was in his 50s back then, or 40s or 50s back then.
Dude, I saw he was at a house show in Poughkeepsie when I went. It was Mr. Kennedy versus Triple H.
Yeah.
And he was in the thing. He was in the audience with signs. I was like, man, this guy is an old fuck. He looks even worse now. Now he's like 73.
Yeah. But yeah, so good match there. Then you had Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I was happy for
We were
Joe
all
Hendry.
assuming it was going to be, Rusev.
I thought Rusev, yeah.
It was not Rusev, but it was Joe Hendry. And we were like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was actually a surprise.
Which, by the way, I had Joe Hendry has been calling out John Cena for a WrestleMania match for months.
Yeah.
And, he got Randy Orton instead. All right, go ahead.
Well, hey, no, but I and people were like, oh, he got squashed or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
Jesus, by the way. Jesus is like, this is how WWE is going to treat their talent. AAA, you better be careful what they're going to do to you. It's like, bro, you don't even watch AAA, okay? And AAA hasn't been a traditional lucha company in a long time. Just chill. Anything, dude, he's just butter.
Also,
if AEW bought AAA, he'd be celebrating and all that.
But
if Moxley fought Joe Hendry and squashed him with a bed of fucking nails, he'd be jumping up and down on the roof, scratching his balls.
But also, it's like Joe Hendry, I think, did an interview with Ariel Helwani, and he was just like, I got to be on WrestleMania.
Yes, he got the shine, man.
Like, yeah, and
by the way, Randy Orton picked him.
Yeah.
Because he enjoyed his work. So that tells you something, man. Dude, all these guys can't even get on WrestleMania that work there. And they got the TNA World Champion on WrestleMania. And he's a joke wrestler. He's not like a serious guy. He can work. Yeah. But his whole gimmick is that he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's a meme. It's a meme.
Do you not see his entrance video? It's two different fucking genres of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was perfect. Because he fucking hit Randy Orton. He turns around. The camera zooms in right into an RKO. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was perfect. And then Randy Orton does the thing with the camera zooming in.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit, man. This is great.
It was still putting him over. Like, it was like it put over his little...
The TNA champion wrestled.
Yes.
With the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I guess that's a burial.
Yeah. I was fine with this. I was fine with this.
Me too. I loved it.
And yeah.
And you know what? I want more of it. I want more of these guys showing up randomly like that.
Yeah. Happy for Joe Hendry.
Hell yeah. I saw that guy White Plains at Impact 1000.
Yeah.
He was a nobody. But it was fun. Like, you still had the same video and everything?
Yeah. Yeah. Then you had Logan Paul and AJ Styles. This was okay. I thought
two
it was
rednecks.
Just okay. I thought it was gonna be a little better. And And
AJ Styles, what is this guy? Go to AEW. Nobody cares.
No,
Get rid of this guy.
Logan Paul ended up winning, which I also didn't agree
AJ
with,
Styles
but
needs to fucking change the way he looks. He looks like an old piece of shit. He's got to get rid of the soccer mom haircut. I mean, he's a man. He's walking out there like a lady. Like, what the hell's going on with this guy? He looks like he smells like total shit. Guy needs he needs to change his repertoire, or maybe shave his head. Not shave his head bald or anything, but just cut your hair. Be the old AJ Styles.
Yeah. But
this guy looks like a fucking old lady walking to the ring. Like old ladies with the aerobics. Because he's got he's got the same costume for the last 10 years. I don't know. Get rid of the guy.
But it was an okay match. But I'm just upset Logan Paul won. But it is what it is.
Tons of people had no idea who he was. Yeah. Well, that's the point. Now they know who the fuck he is.
Yeah. And he still got a decent reaction. I mean, the people who knew, they were like, holy shit. Like, so.
They know him more from the video than they do of him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Because the minute his video played, everyone went nuts.
Because even if you don't know who he is, you've seen that meme online. Because it's like a huge, it's huge online and just.
Yeah, and it worked for him. People know who the fuck he is. I'd never seen his matches.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably wrestled at Impact 1000, but I don't remember the actual match he was in.
Yeah.
He might have been in a battle royale or something, but.
I think he was on NXT this week too. So good for him.
Yeah, he's challenging for the NXT title.
Yeah, good for him.
And by the way, it shows he's reliable because Triple H called him and said, "Hey, Randy Orton wants to work with you at WrestleMania," and he goes, "Yeah, okay, I'll do it."
Yeah.
And he says, "Don't tell anybody." He said he didn't tell his family member. He didn't tell nobody. That's crazy.
Hey, it was actual surprise, which is hard to get nowadays in wrestling. So,
but the company now knows they can trust this guy, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And when his contract comes up next year, they're going to sign him.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Randy Orton picked him is already your name is getting in the right circles.
Randy Orton could have picked anybody for for his 20th WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he picked him. So that's high praise to me.
Yep. But yeah. Then you had women's tag team title match, Lyra Valkyria and the returning Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Valkyria and Becky Lynch ended up winning. It was an okay match.
Yeah, he took Bayley out for this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Bayley was supposed to be in this match. She gets hurt, or she gets taken out backstage, which Becky Lynch did know, which Bayley did know about, because there was an interview with Chris Van Vliet that came out with Becky with Bayley.
When I went to the Garden, I don't know if I talked about this on here, but Bayley was treated like a jobber in that match.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you talked about that last week. Yeah, but it was, but yeah, we were both talking about how she should be treated way better. Like, she's so good and she's done everything for that fucking company. I get that's how they wanted to reintroduce Becky, and then Becky, I think, turned on.
Yeah, but
Valkyria
Becky Lynch
Raw.
is so fucking overrated, man. It's her and Charlotte, the two most Charlotte, I understand because she's got the history with the family. But Becky Lynch, who the fuck is she? Who cares? Jesus Christ. She's not as good as they make her out to be. She really isn't. She's fucking overrated. 1,000%.
I would disagree, but I mean, it's,
Dude, she does nothing in her matches. She can't cut a fucking promo to save her life. It's horrible. They only care about it because she's married to Seth. Everyone knows it. Everyone.
But yeah, so that match was all right, but again, it felt like a Raw match. But then you had the main event. Well, no, before the main event, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, Christ.
He's hitting another lady. What's going on here?
The glass shatters. There's no Austin. Apparently, he missed the ramp when he was coming up with his ATV. Then he backs up, gets on the ramp, starts, driving down. I'm like, oh shit, what's he doing? He's circling the ring with the ATV, the four-wheeler. He runs into the wall, the barricade, and this old lady falls over.
Wasn't an old lady. It was a young girl.
Well, oh wait, yeah, it was like her
So
winning-
he hits the barricade with the ATV. There's a
Yeah.
fucking delay, and this lady happened to just plop right onto her chair, no problem. Like ass first, plop on her chair.
Yeah.
And then she acts like he like fucking blew her head off or blew her family's head off or something. It's like, dude, like what a Karen.
No, I don't know if Austin was like drunk or I don't know. I don't know what was up with Austin, but because he missed the
You
ramp
could tell
going
that that
up.
lady wasn't a wrestling fan. She just happened to be one of those people that went to that show.
Yeah. But anyway, Austin was out there just to like announce the attendance of both nights.
And while he was out there announcing, Nick Khan ran to the lady to like
Yeah.
find out what happened and all this. And
then Austin checked on her again before he left.
he checked on her twice. And the internet's
yeah.
reporting, oh, he hit that lady and jumped in the ring. It's like, no. Did you watch with your fucking eyeballs?
Yeah.
He hit the barricade. She was standing there, and then she plopped back, sat into her chair, looked at him like angrily, and then he went over there and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she said something, and I'm sure he was like, "I got to hit this time cue, and I'll be right back." And then he did his promo or whatever, and then he went back and talked to her with Nick Khan. But I think it's funny because they left the ATV there. I don't know if they left it there to like report the incident or what. I don't know what the hell's going on, but he walked up the ramp. He left the ATV there. But then in the next match, the ATV was gone. So who the hell knows what's going on? But dude, it wasn't even enough to hit it because he hit the LED board and he didn't even crack it. So how hard did he really hit that thing that lady was affected?
Yeah, no.
They said she did the LeBron James flop.
Yeah, I didn't understand it at all.
I don't know what that is.
LeBron James is known for LeBron James is known for flopping. So like if he like is going under the net, and there's like contact made, he'll fucking act like he's getting hit. Like it's a hard foul. So
Okay.
it's known as like the LeBron flop and he always gets the call because he's LeBron. So
Right.
even if it's not really a foul, he'll get the foul call because he's LeBron. So that's what the LeBron flop
It's cheating.
is. Yeah.
She was trying to get a payday, says Frank.
Maybe.
She's like a fainting goat. I thought you said farting goat. Probably both.
Yeah. Then you had the main event. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Okay. With this match, match was going okay for the most part. Then Travis Scott out of nowhere appeared. Now, when Travis Scott appeared,
That killed the whole fucking. That was a buzzkill. Killed the whole match.
when he came out at first, I'm like, okay, why the fuck's he out here? Number one. Number two, I'm like, oh, that means we're getting The Rock, or that means something else is happening here. Because remember, The Rock was the main focal.
Why didn't you just have Travis Scott run to the ring? Why does he have to like belly dance to the fucking ring where he takes his sweet ass time? The guy took like 15 fucking minutes to walk down the ramp in the middle of a goddamn match. What are you doing? It's not about you, you fucking moron. It's about these guys in the ring.
As Travis walks down to the ring, Cody hits the crossroads on Cena, goes for the pin. Travis Scott pulls the referee out of the ring. Rhodes then performed a crossroads on Travis Scott.
Which Travis Scott didn't even want to do, by the way. He was trying to get out of it. It's like, dude, just let him do the move.
And when Cena attempted to strike Rhodes with the title belt, Rhodes blocked it and took it. Cena then performed a low blow on Rhodes, struck Rhodes in the head with the belt, and it hit the pin to win the match and his 17th world title. And that's how the fucking night ended.
I don't mind the win, but I'm just saying the way that they did it with Travis Scott just killed the whole fucking match.
I don't mind the end. I expected Cena to win, especially
We
with
all
the heel
did.
turn and everything. Yeah. But here's the thing. The Rock comes out, he sells his soul to The Rock, turns on Cody Rhodes. Where the fuck was The Rock? He was the focal point of the story.
Well, listen, he had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that he was going to lay back. He didn't say he was going to miss WrestleMania, but he said he was going to lay back and let Cena have his moment.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with The Rock. Cody was going to have his moment. He jumps in. He ruined the moment because the internet went nuts on him. So he said, let me not step into that fucking shit again. Let me just sit back. And what happens? People are fucking mad that he wasn't there. What do you guys want? You want him there or you don't want him there? They don't want him there, and then they want him there. The fans get mad when he's there, and then the fans get mad when he's not there. It's like, what do you fucking people want? Well, see, is everyone taking bipolar medication with Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane over here? I mean, what's going on? You either want the guy or you don't. What do you want?
Yeah, but I still think he should.
Oh, he ruined everything. Oh, he wasn't there. He ruined everything. It's like, what do you want? What do you want him to do?
If he wasn't going to be there, I would have liked him not to just fucking...
Breaking news, he's a fucking actor. He's not there all the time. I mean, same thing with Lesnar. Lesnar, oh, he won the title and he's not there anymore. Ooh. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar's here. It's like, what do you want? Do you want Brock there or do you not want Brock there?
Well,
like, the fans don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Here's the thing, for me, I don't know what other fans think. I could give two shits, but for me, I think if you're going to be in the story, then be in the story. If you're not going to be in the story, then don't be in the fucking story. Don't be like, get ready for the ride.
Well, is Triple H doing the story? Or what's going on? I mean, this could be Triple H's his weakness right here.
Well, the thing is that, you know, the fact that The Rock pretty much made, like, with him being in the Elimination Chamber stuff, and we're going to get into The Rock's appearance on Pat McAfee, because they did clean up on aisle 7 as the only reason The Rock was on fucking Pat McAfee, was this was clean up on aisle 7. This was called damage control.
Well, here's the thing with all this. I think The Rock is just sick and tired of fucking people bitching at him all the time. He's always had that problem. And I think Rock just tries to go out there and like fix it by saying, hey, here's what happened. And people take that the wrong way. Oh, he's trying to get out of it. It's like he's just trying to explain to you what happened.
Well, yeah, and he can explain what happened, and I can, like, in my opinion, at least from his appearance on Pat McAfee, I think it's just, to me, it's just BS to me.
Well, there's a lot of people that think there's friction between him and Triple H again.
Yes.
Which I don't know if that's true or not. We haven't really heard anything, but
I don't know.
There are rumors.
But so after this went off the air, everyone was kind of underwhelmed, which it wasn't underwhelming main event, especially with all the people thought like, oh, maybe this year they're gonna get Stone Cold to do, you know, have the stare down with The Rock.
Well, they should have
last year.
This is how it should have been booked, right? You should have had Cody fucking beat Cena, okay?
Yeah.
And then right when you think Cody's celebrating, the final boss comes out because he's the final boss.
Yeah.
And then you get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Shit goes down in the ring. Glass breaks. Austin comes out, stuns Rock. Cody beats The Rock and Cena the same. That's if you're going to keep Cody Rhodes as your champion, like the future of the company. But they wanted to give it to Cena because 17, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the way that they did it with Travis Scott, that ruined the whole thing, in my opinion. But I mean, that's what you should have done with Rock. But I mean, if they're not going to do that, I mean, what's the point? And again, this whole soul thing, it's like, the build up to WrestleMania sucked. We kind of expected that they weren't going to do anything anyway because the build up, there was no build up at all.
Yeah. So
we didn't even think Cena was going to win the belt because this guy was never on TV.
Yeah. So after WrestleMania on Monday, The Rock was on the Pat McAfee show for like a 40-minute interview.
I saw it.
So I'm going to read from this article here that has a recap of it.
The Rock and Dave Meltzer are friends, Cougar Man. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Does anybody follow this shit? You know that The Rock invited Dave Meltzer to all the premieres of his movies? Just saying, right? Does anybody follow this stuff? Am I the only one that reads all this shit? Go ahead.
But it says, over the last year, Johnson made sporadic appearances on WWE programming, sometimes as his final boss character and sometimes seemingly breaking character to appear in his role as TKO board member. That included some awkward stop-start moments in his feud with Rose, such as when he praised his rival while in corporate mode on WWE Raw and Netflix debut in January, but then slipped back into character and asked for his soul in the build-up to Elimination Chamber. While the payoff at Elimination Chamber was Cena appearing to sell his soul to The Rock, thereby turning heel for the first time, Johnson was hardly mentioned after that in the build to WrestleMania 41. That led fans thinking, hoping, and anticipating that he would surely make a surprise appearance to pay off the angle to help Cena win his 17th championship and recreate some of the magic from the year prior, where countless run-ins under Bloodline rules saw Rhodes win his first title. Then it says, with The Rock booked for Tuesday's episode of the Pat McAfee Show, it was an indication that WWE and Johnson might have gotten the message about the fans' dissatisfaction with WrestleMania 41 ending, and he appeared entirely out of character as Dwayne Johnson at the TKO board member, entirely pulling back the curtain in the plans for the biggest events of the year. According to Johnson, he was asked to participate in the Elimination Chamber by Nick Khan and TKO to boost low ticket sales and increase the event's popularity on the road to WrestleMania. After conceiving of Cena's heel turn and his role in it with WWE executives Triple H and Nick Khan, Johnson said he was happy to take a step back and shine a light on Cena and Rhodes in the main event.
Right.
First, Johnson explained the origin of the Sell Your Soul angle.
Which, by the way, lines up to what he said a few weeks ago, or what was it, a month ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, stating that it opened up options for his interaction with Rhodes down the road. And also, the original plan apparently was for Cody to turn. That's also something he mentioned. Was the original plan was for Cody to turn, and then they apparently didn't like that, and then they came up with the idea of Cena turning, and then that's when Cena turned. He says, it was a litmus test, this is The Rock's words, it was a litmus test to find out, in my opinion, how fans will respond if Cody's soul is sold to the final boss. Let's get a temperature check on this. Let's establish it. Let's anchor it in. And you come to find out that there were a lot of fans who were saying, sell your soul. I was an advocate of that, not turning Cody heel soon, but eventually down the line, I like the idea of that because Cody's a smart guy. He's an intelligent guy. He's a ring general. And I think it's the idea of you give him a reason to turn way down by the road, way down the road, not based on titles, not based on this, but it's his soul and what that means. That affects generations. It transcends beyond pro wrestling, and fans were loving it. However, The Rock admitted creatively he would have had to finesse things a little bit differently for the criticized main event. Says, I knew then the best thing for the final boss. We established the idea of Cody's soul. We can always come back to it. I did feel, and I made the call. I don't want to be involved in that. Step back, let the final boss step back into the shadows. Let all the spotlight go to John. Let it go to Cody. Let's not make it about Cody's soul or John's soul. Let's let them do what they do.
Right.
Which to me, I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think you need the soul thing in general. Bring that up when someone's like it to me, it's like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, you can also look at it this way. Cena sold his soul to The Rock, and Cena's going to take over until he fucks up. And then that's when The Rock comes back. Like, hey, you fucked everything up, blah, 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 blah. Like, just, he sold his soul, now let him run on his own. I don't know. We all expected The Rock to be there. So, again, I don't know. I don't know how you do this.
Yeah.
But, we were expecting this guy to be there. We were also expecting a build-up to WrestleMania. We got nothing.
Yeah.
We just got, you're going to have these two. And then they were in the ring, and they're just going back and forth, like, hey, you used to work for a billionaire. It's like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Austin and The Rock were beating the shit out of each other every fucking Raw for 4 weeks before WrestleMania.
I find it kind of because apparently from what I read, he was the only TKO board member that wasn't at WrestleMania. So, which is kind of crazy. It just seems, I don't know. It just seems like
he also had that New Japan shirt with the Rubik's Cube. So is that him telling them, hey, I'm going to go over there if you guys keep fucking with me?
Which is nuts if that happens.
He owns part of the company. So yes, it would be nuts.
Yeah. But then he said, I called John after Elimination Chamber and I called Cody and I said, I think the final boss's work is done. We've established it. We just pulled off the greatest angle in the history of pro wrestling other than Hulk Hogan turning heel in the 90s. I said, this is amazing. We have 6 weeks. Now let's build. You guys go and crush it, and I'll be right there with you. And I'm always here if you need me. But I think it's best for the final boss not to be involved.
Yeah, I think he did that because he doesn't want to get shit from the fans. He got shit from the fans for being involved with the Cody thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, it just would have made sense for him to be involved this time
I know
around.
that.
That's all I'm saying.
I
That's all I'm
agree,
saying.
but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, everything he's
Yeah.
saying it lines up with the situation that he had last year.
They went on to say
When they did night one with him and Roman versus Seth and Cody, that was a great way to like pivot.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fans still shit on them for that. So what are you gonna do? Like, this guy can't win. No matter what he does, he can't win.
Yeah.
He goes
he
away,
says-
people are pissed off. He comes back, people are pissed off. Like, what are you gonna do? He's in a no-win situation.
He also said, "I love the finish of the match. I would
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He was like, I would have got there a little differently creatively, but that's just me. There are
Right.
a lot of minds in the room. That's my thought, but ultimately the bottom line is I love John getting 17.
Well, yeah.
And then he said,
Now we also have to understand something. Ric Flair is under AEW contract. Tony Khan
Yeah.
could easily tie Ric Flair with John Cena again
oh yeah. Yeah.
if he was a madman.
But I find it interesting that like, Elimination Chamber was struggling to sell that much that they called The Rock to be involved. And he outwardly admitted
I remember that
They don't
ticket sales
usually-
were slow. It was being reported back in, I think, November or something.
which is tough because Toronto's a big market for wrestling.
Yeah,
And they were in
but you have to
Toronto.
understand, WWE
The
fell
match, like-
off big time because of UFC over there.
But yeah.
Remember.
Well, also, it's like, also the prices are crazy, even for non-WrestleMania.
Oh, Randy Orton just said the WrestleMania tickets were embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Elimination Chamber tickets obviously were as expensive as WrestleMania, but they're still very expensive.
They're very expensive.
So-
Going to Raw
Yeah.
was. I didn't know anything about it, but my wife said that it was very fucking expensive to go to Raw.
Yeah. So it's like, WWE seems to be selling a lot of tickets. They on Raws are sold out. SmackDowns are sold
It's
out.
completely entertainment and corporate now, so of course they're going to sell a million tickets. I don't think there's any way that this company moving forward doesn't sell tickets. It's just it's too much of a juggernaut.
Yeah. It's a well-oiled machine that's just going to print money.
Exactly.
So
And
but
we
it's-
have to understand something. TKO spent $9 billion, $9.8 billion on this company.
Yeah.
They want that money back, and they
Oh,
want
yeah.
it back tomorrow or yesterday. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. And I guess if tickets are ever going slow, they could just hey Rock, come
Yeah,
show
no,
up.
let's not cut
Hey.
the ticket price. Let's just call The Rock
Yeah,
to come in.
Yeah. Let's not realize that people nowadays can't afford to barely buy groceries, let alone go to a wrestling show. It's like,
I don't know.
it's just
It doesn't make
it's
any
great.
sense to me, but it is what it is, right? It's business.
I mean that's that's the business. But that was The Rock on Pat McAfee. So he also talked about that was all the wrestling stuff he talked about. He talked about his whatever his name is, Papa Duty, what was that shit called? The Papa Tui fucking skincare, whatever it's called.
I don't even know what the fuck you're
Yeah,
talking about.
He has like a skincare line. It's called like Papa Tui or some shit.
Good
He
for
talks
him.
about that.
No one's
Yeah,
using
he
that
talks
shit.
about- it's in Target, bro. It's there. It's
Yeah, in the women's section. I don't go there.
Oh my god. But yeah. Now we can also talk about real quickly. We'd also get people's thoughts about it in the chat. If anybody has any thoughts about it in the chat. But also we could talk about real quickly about AAA and WWE. Because we kind of briefly mentioned it, but it was
Oh,
news that came-
they better count their fucking days, says Jesus. Dude, this guy's a fraud. If he says he watches AAA, he's a fraud. I'm
don't
putting
watch
that out there.
AAA.
What?
I don't watch AAA. I've seen AAA before. But
They've been looking to sell the company since Antonio Pena passed away. That was over a decade ago.
I will say that woman that was there, in the announcement, she looked like a fucking cartel boss. She looked.
I ain't
She
touching none of
looked
that
like
shit with an 85-foot pole,
yeah,
my man. So
yeah,
you say
yeah.
what you gotta say.
But she looked like. I mean, she looked like she's seen some shit. I'll just say that. Um,
She looks like she's
but
seen a lot of money.
yeah. So yes. She looked very wealthy. Yes.
Well, after
But
this deal,
TKO Holding Group and Mexican Sports Entertainment, Philippe announced that on the WrestleMania 41 pre-show that they had acquired AAA as part of WWE's global expansion strategy. The sale is expected to close in the third quarter of 2025. Um, and yeah, I mean they have a bunch of talent in AAA. And they had a bunch of talent that works for WWE now that used to be in AAA as part of the announcement. Um, and it's the second longest running promotion in Mexico. Um, I think it started 32 years. It started 11 days after I was born, April 30th, 1992. So it's about to be 33 years old in 6 days. It's the second largest wrestling promotion in Mexico under
you know why they did this? Because WWE for years has been trying to get into Mexico, and they couldn't because of AAA and these guys, CMLL and all them.
CMML. So CMLL has been
Because
around
they've been
since, like,
trying to work with Conan, to try to like do a deal, and they would never be able to get a deal done. So now they got the deal done. So now they bought AAA. They bought AAA number one to hurt AEW. That's another avenue AEW can't talk to anymore. And now AAA, they have Mexico. Now WWE has access to Mexico. They can start putting shows on over there and making a lot of money. You have to understand, this is all about making money. They're going to acquire everybody that they can. I'm sure they're going to buy TNA at some point. They're going to bring back WCW. They're going to bring back ECW at some point.
Now, do you think they keep it as AAA, or do they just make it like WWE Mexico or some shit?
They'll probably change the name.
Yeah. But I wonder what this means for like CMLL, because they're like the WWE of like Mexico. Like they've been around longer than WWE has. I mean, they've been around since 1933.
Right.
So
well, I mean, now it doesn't matter. It's a competing market.
Yeah.
Again, WWE just wants to get in there. They want to do that. They're going to send Rey Mysterio down there. They're going to send all these guys down there. The LWO. Maybe they'll rename it to LWO. Who the hell knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they'll get it down there and they'll make money. They want to make money. That's they're going to buy TKO is going to buy all these companies. And number one, they're doing it to put Tony Khan out of business. And number two, the main reason, or maybe it's just maybe he's number two. Number one is for money, and number two is to close the avenues for Tony Khan.
Yeah.
But it's definitely for both. It's definitely to make a lot of money and to shut out the other guy.
Yeah. Now there are some people like, that are wondering what's this going to mean for AAA talent, because there is some talent that WWE doesn't really see eye to eye with as part of AAA.
Well, I heard they already fired Alberto Del Rio. I heard he's done.
Did they already let go of him?
Yeah.
He was the heavyweight champion.
They said he's terminated.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't even see that, because it still says he signed a AAA on Wikipedia.
I think I read that this morning. Go ahead. Look it up.
Let's see.
Hockey fan, what's going on, man? That rhymes.
Apparently that was a fake report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's too long for that company anyway, so.
No. But he's their current heavyweight champion, or their mega champion, which is what their heavyweight title's called. And I think also there's a few other people that had bad falling outs with WWE on AAA's roster. So
that's all right. They're gonna clean all that up, and then they're gonna. That's why they got CMLL, right? They'll go over there.
Yeah.
And compete. Yeah. That's competition. WWE is gonna clean that all up, send their guys down there, and they're gonna put on shows for people. But I don't know if they can charge what they're charging. Because again, people down there don't have money like that.
No.
So I don't know who they're going to be catering to, but
well, that's the thing with the lucha shows over there. They really they really like market as kind of like entertainment to bring the whole family to, kind of like it's like an out, like it's like a night out, or like a, it's more of like a, it's not like a, oh, you got to have a shit ton of money to go see the show kind of thing,
Right.
At least that's in the Mexican market. That's how they kind of promote it. So yeah, you can't make it super corporate over there, because it could fall flat on its face if they do that.
It probably will too. We don't know. We don't know how that's going to work
We don't
down
know.
there.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling
But,
you, the way that WWE's run now is completely different.
Oh yeah.
And it's not a good thing and it's not a bad thing. I mean, the ads, man, the ads are crazy. Like, this is like UFC shit, and it's kind of annoying.
Oh yeah. No, TKO's doing the UFC.
And then they're doing the thing with the celebrities. You know, it's funny because when WCW did David Arquette, they were the fucking joke of the internet and the wrestling world.
Now
WWE
they do
has
nothing
Travis Scott and Triple H is like, yeah, he wants to learn. I'm like, dude, do you hear yourself?
You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna have a match with John Cena, like a tag match. It's gonna happen.
Oh, that's probably one of the next pay-per-views. Not the next one coming up, but SummerSlam, I could see that. They're definitely looking for Cody Rhodes versus Travis Scott at SummerSlam. Which, again, I think that's a bad idea, man. I don't know. This guy, Travis Scott's a small guy, too. He's not a big guy.
No. Here's a question, though. A quick little pivot from the AAA stuff. How do you feel about them jumping right into Randy Orton, Cena?
I'm okay with it. And by the way, I have a photo for everybody about that.
Okay.
I just found this on the internet. Let me get rid of this WrestleMania picture.
That's so funny. What the hell?
Listen, they were going to do the match anyway. So if you're going to do it, do it. It's in St. Louis. That's Randy Orton's hometown.
Backlash is in his hometown.
Even though he lives in Poughkeepsie down the street.
Yeah, but he was born.
I'm shocked I didn't see him today. Waiting for the Switch too. But again, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Nintendo's probably sending him one personally. He's all right. But yeah, no. I'm excited. It's the first time we're seeing babyface Orton and heel Cena in that feud. So that's interesting.
That's fine.
And
I'm reading reports. Oh, is Orton beating Cena? No, he's not beating John Cena. It's probably going to end with a fuck finish.
You're going to see a lot of, because Cena doesn't have many more. He said the amount of dates he has left on Raw.
27 or 26 or something.
20. So he doesn't have many more dates. So he's going to do you're going to get the Orton match. You're going to get a match against CM Punk. You're going to get you're going to get the greatest hits of John Cena's career, essentially.
Yeah, but you know what, man? They kind of booked themselves into a corner because whoever beats him for the title is going to get booted out of the building. So how do you get the title off him?
Yeah, I don't know. But speaking about Raw, some more little tidbits about Raw. How do you feel about the Braun joining forces with Rollins and Heyman?
First fucking when I saw it was Braun, I was like, Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
I was like, they're bringing back Deadly Alliance. And then Becky Lynch turned on Raw, and it's like, yeah, she's the Medusa.
Yeah.
Heyman had back in WCW, Heyman had a faction which Steve Austin was a part of, which they kind of played on during the WWF invasion back in 2001. The Deadly Alliance. It looks like they're going that direction, and that's fine because the bloodline's like non-existent at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no. That's over. But yeah, no, I'm pumped for it. Like I said, if Braun was, I said on the prediction show, if Braun was dropping the title, it's because they have bigger things planned for him.
Right.
And this is and him being with Heyman, I think is awesome. And yeah, Braun's
somebody's beating Jey Uso, or it's got to be Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Or Seth Rollins is going to take it off of him, and who the hell knows? I don't know.
We'll see what happens. But yeah,
somebody's taking that belt off Jey Uso, and I think it's going to be Rollins or Breaker.
Also on Raw, we did get the return of Rusev.
Yes.
Yes, Rusev is back. Unfortunately his theme got Def Rebelled, and he got some weird fucking
Hey, you know what?
AI theme or whatever
His
the
old
fuck they're
song
doing.
sucks, so it
Yeah,
sounded
I
like
mean,
fucking circus music from the 30s. It's like nobody wants that shit.
oh my god. Um, but um, but yeah. I mean that's really all. Oh, before we wrap up, because we'll take some questions from the chat before we wrap up. But before we
Eli,
wrap
what's
up,
up?
I do want to say a rest in peace to Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, I saw that, man. That was messed up. I had read
Um,
that morning he had just entered hospice.
hospice, and then a few hours
A
later,
few hours later, he was
you know,
dead.
yeah.
That sucks.
Steve Mongo McMichael, who used to be in WCW, but he also, before he was a wrestler, was a really good defensive tackle for 15 years in the NFL. Played primarily for the Chicago Bears. He also played for the Patriots and the Packers.
You know what I want to tell
He
you? The funniest fucking thing about that? Not him dying,
What's up?
but about
No,
him.
yeah. What's up?
Back in the 90s when WWF was popular, right? It was
Yeah.
like 99, 2000, something like that.
Yeah.
Bro, you're at the supermarket. They used to have the tabloid magazines.
Yeah.
And dude, the headline was Steve Austin stole my wife.
Uh,
And they had interviewed Mongo McMichael because Stone Cold had married his ex-wife Deborah.
Yeah.
But I never forgot that headline. Steve Austin stole my wife.
That's funny.
RWK,
yeah,
what's
no-
up in the chat, buddy?
But yeah, he was a former WCW United States champion in 1997. He won that.
Yeah, he played
was
for
also a-
Chicago Bears.
Yep, Chicago Bears from 1981 to 1993. He won a Super Bowl with them.
Wow.
Super Bowl 20.
Jesus.
Was a two-time first team All Pro, two-time second team All Pro, two-time Pro Bowler. He was listed as the top 100 greatest Bears of all time.
Wow.
He was a great, like, that was the thing. He was a well decorated like football player, and then transitioned into wrestling.
A lot of, in the 90s and 80s, a lot of football players transitioned from football to wrestling. I mean, it's a known fact.
Now,
He was actually with the WWF. He used to be on Raw as an announcer, but he wasn't
Well,
up to Vince McMahon's standards. If you know Vince McMahon, this guy's fired like 55,000 announcers in his career. He was one of them, and then he went right over to WCW, and he was on the commentary team for quite a while.
He retired as a player in 1994, and then he appeared ringside in the WWF for Lawrence Taylor's match at WrestleMania on April 2nd, 1995 in Hartford.
One of the worst WrestleManias.
Taylor wrestled Bam Bam Bigelow, and he was one of the several football players at ringside to keep the wrestlers from in the match. During the March 20th episode of Monday Night Raw, McMichael provided guest commentary with Vince McMahon, and would later brawl Mustafa, one of Bigelow's part of his group. And yeah, he was trained by Terry Taylor in 1995. He later in 95 debuted as a color commentator in WCW. He was a babyface commentator with Bobby Heenan and Eric Bischoff.
He wasn't really that good at announcing. It sounded like somebody was crying on the.
Yeah.
When he talked, it sounded like somebody was crying. I thought that was funny.
He then went on to, be a singles competitor. He ended up winning the U.S. title.
He was in the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, in the Four Horsemen. And then he wrestled until 1999. His last match was teaming with Dean Malenko and the one who should not be named.
Oh, okay.
And they defeated Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham and Wrath on a house show. That was March 6th of 99. That was his last WCW match, or his last wrestling match. And then his last wrestling appearance was in 2008 in TNA. He was at Bound for Glory. He was a guest referee of the Monster Balls match.
Okay.
And that was his last wrestling appearance.
I don't even remember that. I remember that match, but I don't remember him being in it. But
yeah. Yeah, in 2021, McMichael announced he had been diagnosed with ALS. Um, and ALS, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Um, the Les Turner ALS Foundation awarded McMichael the ALS Courage Award on September 18th, 2021. Um, he was transferred to hospice care the morning of April 23rd, 2025, which was yesterday, and died later that day due to complications from ALS at the age of 67. He was still pretty young. He wasn't even that old, man.
Right, right.
Shame. But ALS, I've known people I knew somebody personally who had ALS, and it's the fact he actually like lived for 3 years after diagnosis is actually pretty amazing.
Right, right.
It shows how far there's no cure for ALS. They can only like just prolong it and just try to like make you live the longest life. Because the person I know, they had got diagnosed, and a year later they were gone,
Oh man.
unfortunately. So it's like the fact that he was able to last 3 years is pretty shows how far the medicine has come for that stuff, and just stuff like that. But yeah, he's also known. Have you seen the clip of him at the Cubs game? Have you seen that clip?
No.
August 7th, 2001. Okay. He was a Chicago native. He was a long figure for for just in Chicago sports for being part of the Bears. He just retired a couple years ago. There was an umpire named Angel Hernandez, who's always been known for decades for being one of the worst umpires in the history of baseball. Always getting calls wrong, everything like that. Right?
Was he getting calls wrong on purpose?
No, he was just bad at his job, and then he complained that they were racist. That's why they wouldn't give him the World Series.
We're gonna do that.
But anyway, so so he's at this game, at a Cubs game at Wrigley, and you know how at Wrigley, CM Punk's done it a few times. They have for the 7th inning stretch, they have a guest come out and sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." CM Punk's.
I think I saw him doing that. Yeah. CM Punk doing that.
Yeah. So he was going out, and before he sang "Taking Me Out to the Ball Game," he was like, "Hey, Angel Hernandez, I'm gonna have some words with you after the show," calling him out, like pretty much saying your call sucked, this and that. Angel Hernandez takes his helmet off and looks up at him like, "What the hell are you saying about?" Like literally, like was mean mugging him. And then and everybody's like cheering, like, yeah, fuck him, this and that. It was the he literally called him out and then went on to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" while Angel Hernandez just stared at him the whole time. It was fucking awesome. Now one of the crew chief members, Randy Marsh.
Randy Marsh? That's the guy from South Park.
No, but that's the actual umpire in Major League Baseball, Randy Marsh. He ordered McMichael to be ejected from the stadium after this. Fuck? And the umpires later received
was he Charles Oakley?
And he did not get ejected, at least as far as I know, he did not. But he later did apologize for his conduct, apparently. But anyway, it's a great clip. It's on YouTube. People can go out and find it if they want to. It's fucking hilarious. But rest in peace. Rest in peace to Steve Mongo McMichael. Man, ALS is tough, man. Great football player. Had a brief but memorable career in wrestling, and I
mean, look, he was an all-around good guy. You never heard anything really bad about this guy. He was always professional. No. I mean, look, he wasn't like the charismatic like wrestler. He wasn't really like, one of those guys, but I mean, he was what he was. He was entertaining for what he was.
Yeah.
Hockey fan says Angel Hernandez is just like Laz Diaz, one of the worst of the worst when it comes to umpires.
They are. It like 100% agree. What's up, everybody in the chat? By the way, hockey fan, RWK, Thunder.
That's Eli.
Yeah. Eli. Yeah, Frank. Excuse me. But yeah, no. Rest in peace, man. I'm pretty sure I read he has a daughter that's like 16 or something like that, 17. something like that. So they saw he had one daughter. Um, he married Misty Davenport in March of 2001.
No, who that
All right,
is?
I don't know who that is either, but um, but yeah. So, and they were still married to this day, as from what it reads here. So, yeah, man, really good wrestler, great football player, and yeah, just sad to see him go. So rest in peace. Um, I think that's pretty much all we got to run down. Does anybody have
Whoa,
any?
whoa, whoa! With this
What's up?
WrestleMania roast, huh? The racism and all that.
Oh, the WrestleMania roast. Yeah. Um, I haven't
The
heard the whole thing.
racist
Apparently,
mania roast.
the whole thing is 2.5 hours. So they had a WrestleMania roast after the last night of WrestleMania. It was hosted by Tony Hinchcliffe. Where if you know anything about Tony Hinchcliffe,
I don't know anything
he
about this guy. I never heard his name.
he's a stand-up comedian, right? He's a longtime wrestling fan. He's a stand-up comedian. He's in the Rogan sphere, as he's like part of that like group. Whereas like he's like friends with Joe Rogan.
Okay.
So he was on his podcast a lot back in the day, still is from time to time. He has his own comedy show called Tip
Yeah,
Kill
the
Tony,
last time I saw Joe Rogan, he was on the what was that? The dating wheel, the dating game, or Fear Factor. What the hell was that guy doing?
He was on Fear Factor.
Yeah, he had hair the last time I saw him.
Yeah. But anyway, he's very popular, specifically in the people that like shock humor. I'm not a really big fan of shock humor. I think it's just kind of mean spirited and vile for the sake of trying to get laughs. I'm not a big fan of that.
Right, right.
I do like stand-up comedy, but I like stand-up comedy that has like a point to it. Like I love like Dave Chappelle. I love like comics like that actually have like a point to their like, comedy. They're not just shock for the sake of shock. And but anyway, he does these roasts, and they were doing a roast of just wrestling and wrestlers and stuff like that. If you know anything about roast, you're supposed to be like vile. It's supposed to be like, like they did the Comedy Central.
Yeah,
roast and
I
like,
saw the roast of Ric Flair a few years ago, and that was disgusting.
yeah.
Listen, when I grew up, roasts, they were never like disgusting.
Yeah.
They would just say things it was like shoot interviews. They would just say things that were true, that were like, the guy would be embarrassed, but everyone would laugh at it because they knew it was true. But when I saw the Ric Flair one, I was like, man, it's a lot of sexual stuff. It's disgusting. And a lot of people are doing that now. They're including like the nastiest things in these roasts. I'm like, that's not what a roast used to be, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know everything. Now, this was not streamed. This was not broadcasted anywhere. But somebody recorded audio of it. Because apparently I think they didn't allow recording or whatever, but somehow, some way, somebody was able to record it. Because a lot of stand-up comedians now, which I know about because I've known people who have gone to stand-up shows. They'll do they have a thing, it's like a thing called Yonder, where you get to the event and you have to put your phone in this bag, and then they take it away, and then you get your phone back at the end of the show.
Yeah, fuck
Because
that.
because comedians didn't want their stuff online because
What if there's an emergency and you got to run out of there and call the cops?
Yeah.
What are we, that's so stupid. What are we, 5 years old? You got to take your phone?
So I think that's what happened here, but I think somebody was able to sneak in either a phone or an audio recorder, and they recorded the whole show, which was 2.5 hours, put it online. And WWE is quickly trying to scrub it off the internet, which, sorry, sucks to suck, but it's on the internet. It's out there. I mean, even if it gets taken down,
It's getting re-uploaded
as we speak. So it's because apparently there's a lot of racist and just other vile shit said on there that they don't want out, which I'm like, if you know anything about this Tony Hinchcliffe dude, you would know. All you gotta do, I'm not even talking about what he's done before.
Dude, his name sucks.
Just look him up. Look him up. Yeah, just look him up. That's all I'm gonna say. And you would know that booking this whole thing was a disaster waiting to happen. I don't know what the fuck TKO thing. You might be able to get away with this with the UFC, but you can't get away with this shit
TK,
with WWE.
dude, they own the UFC. They love all this shit. They don't care.
Well, I
It's
know
all about
that.
entertainment
It's
for
just-
them. They don't give a fuck.
It's just me personally. As soon as it was announced, I was like, "This is gonna go terrible." I mean,
I
you
didn't
had
even know
literally
this
had-
happened until today.
I remember it got announced like about a month ahead of time at WrestleMania, before WrestleMania.
Well, they brought up Gunther being a Nazi, which he is based on a Nazi. I think we've all figured that one out.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon actually had to change his last name because it was based on a real Nazi.
Yeah.
That they made jokes about because it was 420, it was Hitler's birthday, so it's a great day for Gunther. It's like, dude, what are you fucking doing, man? They're
Yeah.
trying to distance themselves from that shit. They took Gunther's last name away because of the situation, and they've been trying to get that away from the character. When you bring that shit up, you're just hurting the character. You're hurting the guy, the wrestler.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Vince McMahon was a fucking idiot that thought it would be funny to do all that shit, and he was stopped dead in his
And also,
tracks.
there was jokes about like certain Hispanic people, wrestlers getting deported, and like all this other shit, and it's just like you know.
And hockey fan brought up, didn't Heyman say something crazy?
Yeah. Heyman also.
I mean, Heyman's always said crazy shit. I've been following that guy for fucking 30 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, no. So I just don't like it. But if WWE thinks they're gonna get rid of that thing forever, you got another thing coming. You might be able to take it off of YouTube, but that shit's gonna be.
I've already seen like several re-uploads of that thing. I'm not even gonna listen to it because I just read the cliff notes. It's like
I saw a couple
shit's
clips
stupid.
and that was it. I saw a couple clips and that was it.
That's why when people say, "Oh, it's got to be Goldberg versus Gunther. He's got to retire him." It's like, man, that's not a good look, man.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's all I gotta say about that because I haven't heard it. I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna listen to it.
I'm not gonna listen to
I
2.5 hours.
I heard like 2 seconds of the guy talking, and the recording sounded like shit.
Yeah,
It sounded like it was on a VHS tape from the 80s. It was like, I'm not listening to this.
Yeah,
Unless it was a bad upload or something. I don't know. But Dave Chappelle did that with the phones. Yeah, I'm not down with that because if something happens, you need your phone.
Yeah.
We live in a different world now. It's not like it was back in the day. Like, you know, it's hard because like they have schools now where they take the phones away from the kids.
Yeah.
Because they're being distracted. And I agree, but I also disagree.
Yeah.
Because if there is an issue, like God forbid something happens, you need your phone to get out of there.
Especially
or
nowadays.
you need your phone to record something. Like God forbid something crazy happens. And I get that the kids during class they're using their phones. I understand that. But you should do that in the classroom. Like say as you enter the class, put it in the thing. This way if something happens, grab your phones, whatever, jump out the window, call 911, do whatever. I get that. But they're making kids like as soon as they enter the building, put their phones in a fucking plastic container.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. They should do that for per classroom, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This way, if something happens, you grab your phone, hit the record, or you jump out the window, or you call the cop. You do something.
Yeah.
And I mean, jump out the window. I mean, not that. I'm just saying, like, if something happens, be prepared to escape.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
It's a catch-22. It really is. But yeah, I don't agree with that stuff, especially for shows. I kind of understand, but I don't know. I mean, I saw a quick with Heyman. I thought it was funny because I get the type of comedy, but I totally understand how a lot of people may hate it. Well, I mean, you know what it is, hockey? I mean, look, we all grew up with like Jay and Silent Bob. We thought that was funny back in the day. And you look at it now and you're like, this is what we liked. Like, this is like childish. Because the world has changed as we've been getting older. And some of us are just like, oh, wow, we used to watch that. They got away with a lot of, like, I'll watch stuff from the 90s. I'll be like, holy shit, they got away with a lot of stuff back then. Yeah. But then you have to remember that was the time period.
Yeah.
And then
the context. Yeah.
Right. As we started moving into the 2000s, 2010s, the world has changed in different ways where you can say certain things, then you can't say certain things. Whether, I understand, right to speech and all that shit. I get that. But I mean, there's just certain things you're not going to say to people to their face that you would have said in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
We just live in a different time. And maybe it'll go back to that at some point, but I don't know. And let's face it, a lot of this shit too is for corporations. They don't want to get lumped into this stuff. So the corporations look down on people that will have that type of comedy or say certain thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a catch-20, like YouTube. YouTube, certain things you can't say. Not that they're censoring you, but then they remove the. You can say whatever you want, but then they'll remove the ads. Then you don't get paid.
Yeah.
And then you could lose your partnership and all that. Like, it's not really worth it. You kind of have to play ball, but it's also not just playing ball. It's just being a realistic human being in 2025. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, but I don't agree with it. Let's be honest here. I think it was funny back in the day when you could say whatever, and people thought it was funny. But now people are soft, no matter what you say. You have people that act like the hardcorest guy, and if you say something to them, they fold like an accordion. You just can't win. Back in the 90s, you'd walk into a bar, it'd be a big muscle guy, you say something to him, and he'd beat you up. You go into a bar, you see a big muscle guy, you say something to him, he starts crying. Like, what the fuck? It is what it is. I don't know. It's just the world we live in now. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all I got. Unless you got more.
Nah, I just brought that up because I thought it was a weird thing that came out today about that.
But appreciate everybody for coming in the chat and hanging out. A hockey fan, RWK, Eli, Frank.
All these guys. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Milfman, all these guys. Dreadpool was in here earlier.
We won't be back this coming Monday, but we'll be back next Monday with another episode of the podcast. And that will have a panel on it, multiple people. So be on the lookout for that.
That's gonna be crazy, man. We had so many people, like Sean, Kenny Omega guy. He was like, "What was wrong with WrestleMania?" I'm like, "Bro, like, what's wrong with you? Like, WrestleMania sucked." But I thought it was fine. The booking sucked. Well, what do you mean the booking sucked? They did this and that. That's not booking. It's like, oh my god. Booking doesn't mean like matches, like move by move. Booking means what the fuck did you book for the show?
Yeah.
If I book a goddamn birthday party, did I book how the guy made the sandwich? No, I booked a birthday party with a fucking sandwich. Well, you didn't tell the guy how many pieces of lettuce and tomato you use. It's like, my God, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when we do that panel show, I mean, heads might be butted that day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope not, but let's see.
But yeah, but I appreciate everybody for hanging out and listening and watching. I'm Nick.
I'm Perry.
And we'll talk to you guys next time. See you guys later. Have a good night.